Welcome to this discussion about pre-workouts and how they can actually work against you if you're not careful. Today I want to walk you through some of the most common missteps people make when using these products and show you how to avoid them. We'll look at why pre-workouts matter, but more importantly, why more is not always better, why timing and dosing are crucial, and why some of the marketing hype can lead you astray. By the end, you'll know how to choose and use a pre-workout to support your training rather than sabotage it. Let's begin by reminding ourselves what an effective pre-workout is designed to do. A good pre-workout should enhance your energy, focus, and blood flow so you can train harder and more efficiently. When you consume the right ingredients at the right time, your central nervous system gets a boost, giving you the motivation and drive to push through tough sets. Your mental focus sharpens, improving the mind-muscle connection that helps you recruit more muscle fibers. Ingredients that raise nitric oxide widen blood vessels and increase blood flow to your working muscles, delivering oxygen and nutrients where they're needed. The result is better perceived training quality and enjoyment. With that context in mind, let's explore the first big mistake people make, assuming that taking more product will automatically lead to better results. It's tempting to think that if one scoop gets you amped, two scoops must be twice as good. Overscooping or taking multiple servings in a day chases intense stimulation at the expense of performance. Pre-workouts follow a dose-response curve. Once you've met the effective amount of each ingredient, additional scoops don't provide proportional benefits and may just tax your nervous system or upset your stomach. Chasing the buzz can also mask fatigue cues, leading you to ignore recovery and risk overtraining. Instead of focusing on intensity for its own sake, focus on using the minimum effective dose and build your results through consistent training. On the next slide, we'll talk about another trap, using your pre-workout as a crutch to compensate for a lack of sleep or proper nutrition. A pre-workout is a tool, not a remedy for deeper issues. If you're habitually using it to mask poor sleep or subpar nutrition, you're only papering over cracks in your foundation. Stimulants can give you energy temporarily, but they don't fix the hormonal and physiological effects of chronic sleep deprivation. Taking high doses late in the day to power through a late session disrupts your circadian rhythm and harms your ability to recover. Neglecting recovery, including proper nutrition, hydration, and rest, will blunt your progress no matter how many scoops you take. Recognize that supplements amplify good habits, they can't replace them. Our next mistake deals with timing, specifically when you drink your pre-workout relative to your training session. Your body needs time to absorb pre-workout ingredients and reach peak levels in your bloodstream. Take it too early and you'll start to crash before your workout is over. Take it too late and the stimulants may keep you awake long past bedtime. For most ingredients, 30 to 45 minutes before training is ideal to coincide with their onset of action. Drinking your pre-workout as you walk into the gym, or sipping it throughout the session, doesn't allow for absorption or optimal effect. And if you train late in the evening, be mindful of caffeine's half-life. Taking a full serving near bedtime can harm sleep and recovery. In the following slide, we'll examine how chasing the highest caffeine content is another common mistake. Many athletes equate more caffeine with a better workout, but this stimulant obsession can backfire. While caffeine does enhance alertness and power, there's a threshold beyond which it offers diminishing returns and heightens anxiety or jitters. Products boasting extreme caffeine doses often lack complementary ingredients that support focus, blood flow, or recovery. By choosing a pre-workout solely based on its stimulant content, you sacrifice a balanced formula that could provide sustained energy and mental clarity. High caffeine intake also interferes with sleep patterns and recovery if not timed properly. Instead, aim for moderate caffeine paired with proven focus enhancers like L-tyrosine and nitric oxide boosters. Next, let's address the opposite problem, underdosing the ingredients that actually drive performance gains. A common issue with many pre-workouts is the practice of sprinkling small amounts of scientifically supported ingredients, like citrulline, creatine, beta-alanine, and betaine. These compounds require clinical amounts to be effective. Citrulline needs around 6 grams to elevate nitric oxide. Creatine and beta-alanine require consistent loading phases to saturate muscle stores, and betaine shows benefits at 2.5 grams. When labels boast these ingredients but deliver only fractions of the effective dose, they're essentially decorating the label. Without proper loading or adequate amounts, you won't experience the promised strength, endurance, or power improvements. On the next slide, we'll see how proprietary blends make it even harder to assess dosages. Marketing terms like matrix or proprietary blend are designed to make a product sound exclusive, but they often hide underdosing. Trusting flashy branding over transparency means you don't know how much of each ingredient you're ingesting. Without disclosed doses, you can't tell if you're getting a meaningful amount of citrulline or just a sprinkle alongside cheaper fillers. Assuming that a trademark name equates to effectiveness is a trap. Exclusive names don't necessarily reflect quality or clinical backing. We believe consumers deserve to see exact amounts so they can make informed decisions. Our next mistake touches on unrealistic expectations about how quickly some ingredients work. It's easy to think that every ingredient in your pre workout should deliver a noticeable effect right away, but some nutrients require loading and patience. Creatine works by saturating your muscle cells with phosphocreatine over several weeks, not by giving you a one time surge. Beta-alanine must accumulate in your muscles to raise carnosine levels and improve buffering capacity. Tingling after a single dose doesn't equate to performance gains. If you don't take these compounds consistently or give up because you don't feel an immediate boost, you won't experience the benefits. Stick with the recommended loading protocols and trust that the science will pay off. Next, we'll explore why using a one-size-fits-all formula can be problematic. No single pre-workout can perfectly serve every athlete and every goal. Products formulated for strength athletes often prioritize ingredients that improve power output, while endurance athletes may need a higher emphasis on electrolytes and nitric oxide support. Your personal tolerance to stimulants and your training style also matter. A high caffeine formula suited to a powerlifter might overwhelm someone training for long distance running. Choosing a generic one-size-fits-all product without considering your goals means you might not be getting the right ratios of ingredients for your sport. Doing a bit of ingredient research and selecting a formula tailored to your needs will yield better results. Up next, we'll see how stacking stimulants can amplify problems. Many people unknowingly consume caffeine from several sources: coffee in the morning, an energy drink or soda midday, and then a pre-workout before training. This stacking of stimulants can push your total caffeine intake to levels that strain the central nervous system and heighten stress responses. Ignoring the cumulative total across the day increases the risk of anxiety, heart palpitations, and disrupted sleep. When adding a pre-workout into your routine, assess your overall stimulant consumption and adjust accordingly. Sometimes the best performance boost comes from reducing caffeine and focusing on sleep and recovery. Our next mistake looks at something people often overlook: hydration and electrolyte balance. Even the best pre-workout won't overcome the performance losses caused by dehydration. When you start a training session dehydrated, your endurance and strength drop, and your perceived exertion rises. Sweating during intense workouts leads to electrolyte loss, which can cause cramps, fatigue, and premature fatigue. Drinking enough water and replenishing sodium, potassium, and other minerals ensures that your muscles receive the blood flow and nutrients needed to perform and get a good pump. Overlooking hydration diminishes vasodilation and nutrient delivery, making it harder for other ingredients to work effectively. Now that we've covered what not to do, let's discuss how to structure a smarter pre-workout strategy. A smart pre-workout plan starts with choosing products that disclose every ingredient and use clinically validated doses. Aim for moderate caffeine intake around 3 to 6 milligrams per kilogram of body weight, combined with focus enhancers such as L-tyrosine or acetyl L-carnitine. Load creatine and beta-alanine separately and consistently to ensure you reach saturation before expecting improvements. They don't need to be in your pre-workout scoop to be effective. Most importantly, remember that supplements amplify the basics. Quality sleep, nutritious meals, and adequate hydration are foundational. With these strategies in place, you'll maximize the benefits of your pre-workout. In the next slide, we'll revisit how to read a label so you can apply these principles when shopping. When evaluating a pre-workout, look for a full supplement facts panel that lists each ingredient and its dose. Avoid blends at obscure amounts. Pay attention to active yields. For example, alpha GPC provides only about 50% choline by weight, so the label should reflect the choline content. Compare the doses on the label to ranges established in clinical research. Citrulline should be 6 to 8 grams, creatine 3 to 5 grams, and beta-alanine 4 to 6 grams per day. Be wary of formulas that contain excessive stimulants or rely heavily on proprietary trademarks instead of science. Using these criteria, you'll quickly sort out which products are worth your investment. Next, we'll consider who stands to benefit the most from pre-workouts when used correctly. Pre-workouts aren't just for beginners looking for a quick fix. They can be especially valuable for experienced lifters trying to push through plateaus. Early morning or fastest sessions can also benefit from a tailored formula that increases alertness and provides fuel without heavy food. High-volume training blocks where endurance and mental focus are challenged are another situation where these supplements shine. Finally, individuals who track their intake and adjust their training variables meticulously can use pre-workouts strategically to support specific workouts rather than indiscriminately. Understanding when you're most likely to benefit helps you use these products judiciously. Following this, we need to recognize that sometimes it's best to skip a pre workout altogether. There are times when the smartest move is to leave the pre workout on the shelf. During deload weeks or active recovery sessions, your focus should be on letting your nervous system rest, not firing it up with stimulants. On rest days or when intentionally reducing training volume, extra caffeine is unnecessary. If you're battling illness or coming off a night of poor sleep, a pre workout cannot compensate for the deficits. Prioritize recovery instead. And if your daily caffeine intake is already high from coffee, energy drinks, or other sources, adding more may do more harm than good. Knowing when to abstain protects your long term progress. Now, let's summarize the key lessons from our discussion. To wrap up, remember that more isn't better. There's a point of diminishing returns for both caffeine and performance ingredients. Prioritize clinically effective amounts over proprietary blends that hide underdosing. Ingredients like creatine and beta-alanine require patience and consistency. You won't feel them after a single serving. And finally, hydration, sleep, and balanced nutrition amplify the effects of your supplements far more than chasing a bigger buzz. Keep these takeaways in mind whenever you're evaluating or using a pre workout. Our final slide offers some concluding thoughts to inspire smarter training and supplementation going forward. Train smart and supplement smarter. That's the mantra I hope you carry with you. Your gains hinge on how well you listen to your body and apply evidence based practices. Use what you've learned today to make informed choices, ask hard questions of supplement labels, and invest in products that respect your health and performance. By pairing thoughtful supplementation with sound training, recovery, and nutrition, you're setting yourself up for long term success. Thank you for joining me, and best of luck as you take these insights back to the gym and continue pursuing your goals.